You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriots. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? Welcome to the HighlyEvolvedPodcast. I'm your host. You can find me on Minds.com. Something's flying. Minds.com, BitChute, Twitter, and Gab.com. There's a lot of things been going on in the past few weeks due to the shooting, the massacre that happens in Texas and Ohio. Now, Donald Trump came out saying that he wants to initiate new policies. And one policy that's up there is the red flag law. You don't know what the red flag law is that somebody could basically deem you a threat if they find you mentally unstable. Now, I'm telling you my position. I am not for this because it leads to a slippery slope. Because one of the reasons why is that how you know people aren't calling people out crazy for malicious intents to take people's rights away. And how do people determine who's crazy, who's not crazy? And people want to use the fallacy that they might turn crazy. Why would you say that you're yourself crazy? Why would you that? Why would anybody say that? Like, how do you determine yourself crazy? You can't be with anybody's crazy at all. I mean, you can't be a psychiatrist all crazy. And don't get me started with psychiatry, right? But I digress. But this article I want to share with you guys, right? Is focus on the idea of red flags laws. All right, I'm not a fan of red flags laws because I already mentioned it. It's a slippery slope. All right, there's a lot of ways where this could be abused in the future. All right, if you give Democrat 1 inch, they'll take a mile. All right, look what happened to abortion law. They gave them the right to abortion, and what happened 40 years later? Oh, we want infesticide or something like that. Or we want abortion at the moment of birth. See, that's what I'm saying. It's a slippery slope. First you get abortion, now you want abortion at the moments of birth, and that's why I'm fearing that this red flags law is a slippery slope. Right? What else is in there? It could be vague because they haven't explained fully how is the process gonna be, right? But you're not sure. There's already some states out there that's implementing red flags, but they don't implement it the same way as any other state. They have their own ways and their own legal mumbo jumbo. But in this article, right, this article from Fox News is going to discuss the situation with red flag laws, right? Let me put this up for you guys so you can read this. And I just don't trust the government, all right? Seriously, movement brewing to overturn entire Second Amendment. That's what I'm saying. Red flags laws could lead to other ramifications. All right. Representative Adam Kinzers, a Republican, I think it's Illinois, said there is a political movement brewing in the United States to try to overturn the Second Amendment. That's what it is. Red flags laws or any kind of law that prohibit any disarmament is unconstitutional, right? And I just want to say, if you consider yourself as crazy, but don't crazy people have the right to protect themselves as well, right? Crazy are part of American. They're American as well, right? So they can't be restricted. They have to have the same rights. It's equal rights. I mean, they have the right to protect themselves. It's covered under the Second Amendment. I mean, God forbid for them to do anything. But yet again, what if their life is in danger and they need to arm themselves to protect some other people from killing them? All right, they should have the right to protect themselves as well. All right, trying to overturn the Second Amendment and it's entirely on ways to citizens' right to keep their arms. Exactly. Just because they're crazy doesn't mean that they can't have the right to protect themselves as well. Because who deems a threat? Who doesn't deem a threat? All right. What if you need to protect themselves? What his name is? Ken Zinger, who wrote a piece following the mass shooting at Dayton and El Paso, supporting the red flag laws. Oh my God, it's a slippery slope. Laws saying that there is an inherent danger of political overshoot and could create a stream of unintended consequences, but claim that it would be better to be doing nothing. Yeah, just do nothing. The law is as it is. It shall not be infringed. It's plain and simple. All right? It's plain and simple. If they want to pull a red flag laws, it's going to automatically be challenged in court and going to be deemed unconstitutional. The only way you could take these laws or change guns laws is by ratifying the Constitution. That's the only way. And that's not going to happen. They're not going to ratify the constitutions. All right? So any law that passes is going to be unconstitutional because it's restricting people's rights for owning a firearm, regardless if they're crazy or not, because crazy people are American citizens, and they have their rights as well. It's unfair that you would be denied somebody the right to put a restriction in place because I own an AR. 99% of us are responsible with these guns, but as a society, we cannot predict a individual behavior, right? He said in the daily briefing on Wednesday, yeah, that's why there's a lot of background check. Most of this state have a lot of background check and safety requirements. Look at California, one of the strictest gun laws out there. Right? But people still manage to get it. They're criminals. Kensinger added that we have to make a societal different changes. Attitude and are turning so much against Second Amendment that things that we risk is that there will be the serious movement to not just create a restriction to overturn a whole amendment. Now, by law, your freedom and religion are protected by the First Amendment. If we begin to start to appealing the Bills of Rights, who knows where the whole thing goes? Exactly, it's a slippery slope. Where else can go next? If you keep changing and ratifying the Constitution, how much value does that hold? All right. And here are some of the few states that are implementing the red flag laws. Washington's in one of them, Oregon, California, Nevada, Colorado, Texas, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Florida. All right, this is the state I will not be moving to. All right, the state I would be moving to is probably Wyoming, Idaho, or Alaska. All right, all those states, all these red flags is a slippery slope. Kensinger also claimed that these are two left policies. To the left of politics have failed to see the spiritual and moralistic problem that's connected with mass shootings and urge all Americans to treat life with more reverence. Exactly, because it's stemming from the home. People lack their faith. They don't have God in their life. They don't have any morals. When there's moral structures are lacking in the moral homes, people do this kind of stuff. It's all about the parenting. All right? People are brought up the wrong way. Back 50 years ago, there was morals because people believe in God. Nowadays, people don't believe in God. You know, becoming atheists. When you have that, when you're not spiritual, people have lack of morals. When you're lack of morals, you do all this kind of stuff by killing people. All right, people were more moral back then, 50 years ago, because they believe in God. They have a God structures. To the left, need to understand that it's really an issue of the heart. All right, the spiritual rot in this country. Exactly, it's a spiritual war we're going through. It's contributed by the mainstream media, pushing all these celebrities who don't have any moral stance at all. All right? You don't hardly hear anything about God or faith in the mainstream media, publications, video games, anything like that no more. It's all being demolished because of what was projected in the kids' mind within TV, news, movies. The moral issue where we go no longer values of life. He said earlier of the interview, people feel like the only way they can be heard to go out to make the names of themselves and make the media doesn't do any favors of publishing manifestos and publication. And the manifesto, who's to say the manifesto belong to him? There's a lot of inconsistency within the mass shootings. All right, there's a lot of inconsistency about the shooter's background, where he came from, why he's doing this, because he have a full structures. He have a dad, a mom, right? There's a lot of inconsistency about timing. People say there's multiple shooters, mass shooters. There was people were arrested. More than 2 people arrested. The police were changing their stories. There's a lot of inconsistency. I'm questioning this whole narrative of these mass shootings. All right, between Ohio or Texas or Gilroy, there's a lot of inconsistency within the shootings, and police are not revealing every information about this. This is why I'm so against this false flags narrative. I mean, this false flag shootings. They try to change the narrative, right? These media, they don't report on everything that you should hear. And now they try to take away the guns. What's next? Your ability to speak freely? That's why when, I told many times in this channel that if Trump messed up one time, I'm not hesitant to throw him under the bus. Right? When he came out proposing the false flag law, I'm really against that. All right, I hope this is a ploy to calm these Democrats down. I really hope so. All right, but if he's really pushing for this, I'm totally against it. All right. Who to say people are crazy with malicious intent? Look at the Brett Kavanaugh. People just came out of nowhere and assumed that he's guilty without any evidence. All right, if this false flag, red flag law passes, right? Anybody could come and accuse me of something I didn't do and take away my rights away from me. This is the slippery slope we're talking about. All right, any kind of law that prohibits a person to be disarmed is unconstitutional. All right, in order to be a lawful thing, you have to change the Constitution. Because if they're going to use the crazy excuses, like a person's too crazy, yeah, he's crazy. I mean, God forbid, I'm not supporting that at all. I'm not supporting crazy to have guns. But yet again, he's still entitled to protect himself because you cannot discriminate a person's rights. Everybody has the same rights. All right? That's the thing. If they don't want that to be done, and they don't want to hear this kind of logics, change the Constitution. Ratify the Constitution. Right, but as of right now, the Constitution stays, and it shall not be infringed. Right, regardless of the reasons. Right, regardless of the reasons, it's there to protect ourselves, whether from a tyrannical government, invasion from an outside entity. All right, some tyrants, or intruder to the house. It's for us to protect ourselves. So to make it clear, I'm totally against this red flag law. Keep saying false flags. All right, and I really hope they're not pushing this, because as soon as this go through, right, it's gonna be challenged to the court. All right, but that's all I gotta say about this. Let me know you agree. Leave a comment below. Do you agree with my assertion? You agree with what I'm saying, or you disagree with what I'm saying? Let me know your points. All right. Because I'm one saying YouTube don't want to monetize my channel because I'm unscripted and rehearsed and edit. That means I can say what I want without being brought up by any outside interference. If you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe. Because when you like, share, subscribe, it encourages me to make more videos. When I make more videos, I saturate YouTube algorithm. When I saturate YouTube algorithm, it might enlighten people to think for themselves. Because the point of this channel is to get people to think for themselves. They might not have to agree with me, but at least think for yourself. Because group thinking will lead you to your detriment. Whether implementing crazy policy like the left policy right here, like this red flag law, or take away people's rights, take away stealing people's money. Those are group thinkers. Group thinking are the worst group of people. Group thinking are socialism, Marxist, communist, Democrat. Those are group thinkers. All right. Because of that, I'm not asking for any donations, because I look at it as an incentive enough for me if you think for yourself. All right, just think for yourself, because thinking for yourself don't affect me. When you group think, you create all this law that affects me. That's what it is. And on that note, guys, let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. This is the HighlyEvolvedPodcast. And I know your time is very precious, and I'll try not to waste your time. Thanks for listening, and peace.